Just got this Typhon Terror 18. I'm gonna do a little bit of an initial maintenance on it. Uh, Everybody online says change all the fluids immediately. I realized that mine came with the Kubota engine made in Japan. So maybe the Japanese put the oil in there. I don't know. I kind of want to trust it. It's also got the hard to see. It's got the painted oil filter, so it's a little bit hard to find if you don't know what you're looking for at first. Took me a little bit. We also have fuel filter back here on the rear axis. Fuel water separator. I believe that this is an on-off. So if you're gonna service this and dump out water or whatever, you probably should have this closed, open, and close it. To dump out your water, and then open it back up when you're done. So hopefully you don't lose engine prime. Looks like there's a couple of other filters, probably similar to a lawnmower filter there. Another one, I'm sure those have parts on them. I'll give you guys parts numbers at some point. A couple other things I noticed. I have no idea what that wire is for. I think it's not for this model, for whatever options. There's a brass flat plug right there. I believe that's a coolant temperature sensor. Not too sure. There's another hanging wire up here. Not sure what it is. This model, I have run it, and I have, everything's fully functional on this, so it's not just stuff left hanging on. Normal-ish air filter right here. This is the coolant reservoir for the radiator. Mine is currently empty. A little bit concerning, and I already opened up the radiator cap and found that the coolant wasn't quite full up in the cap. I'm not too worried about that. Many engines will let you fill it up and then the level goes down after a run, so maybe that's what happened to the factory. Normal radiator cap, coolant in there was green. I threw some universal in there. It was a little bit hard for me to figure out where the heck the dipstick was in this thing, because that's painted as well, but I believe I've spotted it. I believe it's right over here. Bam. Right there, past the fuel water separator. That loop right there is going to be the dipstick. Let's get that out. Oh, you almost got to have a hook pick to get it out. Long pliers or something. Looks like we are full and clean. I'm going to let this thing run for the 10 or 20 or whatever hours, so I can call it broken in before I change the oil, because I think it's clean, and I think it's Japanese oil potentially, so we're going to find out. Hydraulic fluid, yada yada yada, whatever. Everybody online recommends, potentially AW68 if you're in a hot climate, lower AW number if you're up north. I'm in Florida, so we're hot all the time, which is why I had to have the one that had AC. Bad thing about this has got to be the worst thing about this. AC works pretty good. I was using it in broad sunlight, but I believe you got to take this bolt, that bolt, and this bolt, and another one in that corner, and then use those eyelets that are included on the top to pull the whole cab assembly up off. If you want to do something like, for example, open this door, you see there's hinges right here. Those are so this here can open for maintenance and swing out. There's a hydraulic oil filter modification that can be done on these. Somebody else has a video on that. I'm planning on doing that, but I don't know how I'm going to get that door open for right now. But to circle back to the hydraulic oil reservoir itself, that's what it came with. I'm not bothered by the color, but I hear that it's Chinese, low quality. There's this plug on the side. That's not it. That's for some arm for movement on the inside. The drain plug, I do believe, is this guy right here. So probably we need to rotate the machine. So that is oriented over here because it looks like there's going to be a good amount of space to put a drain pan right here. By the way, that's engine oil drain plug right there. So, yeah, pretty simple. Just got to dig around a little bit. That oil filter is going to be a little bit hard to access. I don't feel any bolts here. Looking for a bracket, looking for bolts to remove this bracket. If there's not bolts to take that off easily, I probably will modify it, do different positions so I can just reach in there and change the oil filter, because I'm pretty obsessed about my oil changes. That's all I know for now. Have a good night.